We have a how does your crush feel about you reading, which means there has been interaction between you and this person, but there has not been physical connection. In addition to that, one or both parties are kind of left wondering how each other feels. Firstly, we have the tree and the whip here as an underlying energy for this reading, which suggests to me that one or both of the partners in this reading have been dealing with some difficult health issues. And if it hasn't been health issues for them, it has been health issues for important family members. In addition to that, the one or both members to this connection have been dealing with long-standing issues that also could prove to be a distraction from making this connection work. Number three, how does your person, your crush, perceive you? They see you as being the Fool, okay? And the Fool is all about being naive, starting something new, venturing off into the unknown, not having a plan. But in this card, I also see somebody who lives off-grid, has the ability to live off-grid, somebody who's loyal, somebody who is self-sufficient regardless of the circumstances, somebody who might even be surrounded by pets and wildlife. They perceive you as somebody who is physically fit, somebody who might even be oblivious. So if they're dropping little hints that they like you, you're not making the connection, okay? But they see you as somebody who they admire. In addition to that, how do they feel about you? They feel the Ace of Clubs connection to this person wants a new beginning. That the individual depicted in this card is Pericles, about 400 years before the birth of Christ. And he was elected as a statesman in ancient Greece and Athens. He was all about democratic reform, citizens' rights, taking power away from the privileged, the nobles. He advocated for citizens. This was a very loving person, okay? And that's how your person feels about you. They wish to advocate for you. Their intentions, the Knight of Pentacles. This is a brave person. This is a loyal person. This is a depiction of George Washington. This is a founding father of the United States of America. This person has got the long game in mind. Knight of Cups. This individual here would be, I think, Hua Chu Bing, was a 20 to 24-year-old individual who opened up the Silk Road. He's a renowned champion. He loved his country, his statesmen. He was associated with the Han Dynasty here. And this is telling me right now that this person wants a new beginning. They're diplomatic. They wish to establish a foundation. They wish to lead the relationship with their heart, with their bravery, and they have to be appreciated in their attempts. There might be instruction here to be more perceptive to their interactions with you, because there is so much feeling involved pushing this person's intentions towards you. And they're so thoughtful. You might be getting some mixed signals from them because their intentions are represented by not only the Knight of Pentacles, but also the Knight of Cups. Long-lasting, making an impact on you, but also there is some fragility associated with this person. What do they want? We get the Justice card here. Okay, so this character is Alexander the Great, and he was a leader of a unified Greece, and he conquered Persia, Egypt. He conquered Central Asia, the Indus River Valley. He established a vast empire spanning Europe, Asia, Africa, covering an area of 5 million square kilometers and encompassing 3 of the 4 ancient civilizations. This was a very spectacular individual. And why is he associated with the Justice card? It could have something to do with his governance. It could have something to do with the fact that he governed over 3 of the 4 ancient civilizations. He promoted large-scale cross-civilization exchanges in the ancient world. He provided a model for the Hellenistic civilization, trade between the East and the West, and imperial governance. This is a very spectacular individual here. So with this, what does this have to do with what your crush wants? Well, this is pretty deep, you know, and a crush is just like a surface level thing, but this person is a big thinker, and they think about the consequences of their actions, and they think about the delivery of their actions. So what's being said here is that they're almost taking emotion, or you're being asked to take the emotion out of your interactions with this person. So, you know, when you get the butterflies in your stomach, etc., you've got to sit back and be more receptive to, you know, what they're doing, and what, it's not even like they're speaking, but what they're doing, because you might have an idea about what love and affection, how love and affection should be delivered, or how love and affection should be communicated. But this person is more an individual of slow, thoughtful actions, and they care about how their actions are perceived and what the effects of those actions are. So with the Knight of Pentacles, this person is like a long-term commitment type. But because there is other stuff going on in the mix, it's taking them a little bit of time to, you know, come up with a delivery. They might come across as being unstable at times. They might come across as being really undependable or unreliable. So they're having trouble finding a balance between their impulse to lead with their heart and their impulse to lead with their head. Not in the same way as the swords, but in the methodology of the Knight of Pentacles. This person either takes time to sow their seeds, or they rush into a situation with their heart in their sleeve, and they've got to come up with a more balanced delivery because they've got big plans, and they also perceive you as possibly not being receptive to what they're trying to say when they do have an opportunity to say it. It might be something that you are missing. So then we get the Two of Cups here, and I find that this story is kind of interesting because we got Alexander the Great here in the Justice card, and then we have the Two of Cups depicting the Peloponnesian Wars around 400 years before the birth of Christ, where Sparta and Athens were fighting. And eventually, I believe Sparta ends up winning, but they, you know, hundreds of thousands of men die. And, you know, and I think Sparta ends up getting the upper hand here over Athens. And eventually, Philip II of Macedonia goes in and takes over, and Alexander the Great, his son. This is a huge source of contention between the Greeks and the Macedonians, where the Greeks say, no, Alexander the Great was Greek, and then the Macedonians are like, no, Alexander the Great was Macedonian. Either way, Alexander the Great, Macedonia goes in there and unites the Greeks, and Alexander the Great pushes and propels the powers of the Greeks forward. So what does this have to do with the Two of Cups? I'm telling you this story because we picked up the tree and the whip. And this shows me, in combination with the Two of Cups, that both of the individuals in this situation are coming from situations where there is hostility around them. And there is the potential to start something new and loving. And it may even be perceived as from people outside of the connection as being possibly a little bit naive and maybe not promising, but there is a promising connection here that could have long-term security, prosperity, and happiness.